Greetings, everyone. I want to welcome you to Live with Chatufa. This is a platform where we continue to give you updates of what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe as we continue to watch and see the effects of the mismanagement of ZANU-PF and Emerson Mnangagwa, and of course, our days to the freedom of the Zimbabwean people approaching every minute and every hour. We have seen in the past days the collapse that has just happened to the economy of Zimbabwe. You still remember how much ZANU-PF made noises about the issue of the economy, where Mnangagwa and people like Chris Mchangwa were coming and praising their ZIG, and of course closing doors of discussion with the citizens, as the citizens were pointing out that there's quite a lot of mistakes, a lot of flaws that were associated with the launch of the ZIG. But of course, a dictatorship government would always want to do what they think is right, although at the end of the day, it's going to cost everybody. So today, as we speak, the ZIG has collapsed, and the RBZ governor, Mushayavanhu, is under fire after the collapsing of the ZIG. Now, many people, including those that are in ZANU-PF, are coming after him, and Mtuli Ncube, and of course, all other officials that are working at the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. All of them are under fire because people are demanding working policies and working strategies. But unfortunately, it seems that these guys are clueless. All that they promised the country, the nation, during those days of the launch, and today they are quiet. They've hidden their heads in the sand, as if they are not the same people who said that. Professor Gift Mugano says here, Reserve Bank, please tell the governor that it's time to report back. He was putting back April 18, the news day of April 18, where Mushayavanhu said, I will report back if ZIG fails, RBZ governor. So that's what he promised. And you still remember, even John Mangunjka, when he came also as governor, he also said what? He also said, if the bond note will fail, I'm going to resign. And what happened? It failed and he did not resign. And the people were saying, now what? So this already indicates to us that these ZANU-PF people are people not to be trusted. You can't trust these people. You can't bank on the word that comes from them. So right now, we don't know why Mushayavanhu is waiting for report back, because now is the time. We are now entering into almost the second week after the ZIG collapsed, but still he's quiet. He's rather coming up with some other weird suggestions that they are coming up with, which are even causing more and more people to be attacking them. And we've seen quite a lot happening in the economy, with the economy biting and businesses being affected, and life becoming life of the general Zimbabwean people becoming even more and more unbearable. But yet, this government does not care. They continue to steal. They continue to loot. They continue to come up with these weird policies that are never going to be helping the nation at the end of the. So someone is sending a reminder to Mushayavanhu to say, you said you are going to retire, you are going to resign, you are going to come back and report back that the ZIG has failed. Why are you not doing it now? We are still waiting. But of course, it is going to be very naive to expect that Mushayavanhu would ever come and say anything of that nature. Remember, ZANU-PF will always be ZANU-PF. The way that they've operated in lies for a very long time continues to make them who they are today. They are liars, simple. And they lie with a straight face and they don't care. So many Zimbabweans are talking about this very issue of the collapse of the economy. So there are two main issues. The issue of the corruption that General Chiwenga has started to raise, which is now gaining momentum so seriously. At the same time, on the other side, we are also hearing of the issues that are concerning the collapse of the ZIG, the collapse of the economy, the shooting of prices. Prices are going up and things are getting tougher and tougher. But of course, it's expected to find people like Emerson Mnangagwa going on with their lives. It's very funny. Mtuli Ncube going on with their lives, Kuda Mnangagwa, as if there is nothing that is happening there, as if there is no fire in the cockpit. They want to pretend, because this is who they've always been. There are people that don't care what happens to Zimbabwe. They are not there to save Zimbabwe. They are not there to fix issues that are pertaining to the welfare of the Zimbabwean people. One, because they know that Zimbabweans don't want them to be there. Number two, they know that they were not voted by Zimbabwean people. They are there because of their own shenanigans. So they don't care about Zimbabwean people. And number three, of course, the arrogance that is just in failures. Failures can at times become so arrogant and want to stick to what they think they know, because they just don't want to acknowledge that there are other people who may be having more wisdom and knowledge in areas that are different. Because we have people like Professor Gift Mugano. The man is gifted. The man is intelligent. The man is an expert when it comes to economics. But of course, he was fired by Mnangagwa. I still remember, from the board that he was a member, and he was fired because he came out and said that they wanted to bribe him. The ZANU-PF people were now coming with the corruption to him, and when he refused to budge, it ended up getting to Mnangagwa, and Mnangagwa ended up firing him, because of course ZANU-PF want to work with corrupt people so that they bend systems. They want to twist things up to their benefit. If somebody blocks them from doing that, that person becomes an enemy, and they are ready to pounce. So that is what it is. But there are many people really in Zimbabwe, many economists, and many people that have that understand the issues of the economy, who could be helping if ZANU-PF was a listening government, if ZANU-PF was a government that would want to engage the other people and other stakeholders. You can't introduce a currency and you don't involve the business people, you don't involve the market, you don't involve people that are going to be active in that economy, you don't involve producers, farmers, and all actors of that economy. You can't ignore them totally, and then you put your money there. People want to come with suggestions you don't want to accept, and yet these are the people who are supposed to be using that commodity. At the same time, they are also refusing to use the money, to have it be like legal tender in their own or companies, and in fuel and in passports, like what we have already seen. So this is one of the some of the reasons that have caused this collapse that we are seeing today, and we don't know what is going to happen from here, because it's never going to be better. If they expect it to be better, they are just lying to themselves. It's going to get worse and worse and worse, and that means a more difficult life for the Zimbabwean people. So Zimbabwean people must continue to stand and rise and fight against this dictatorship. We want a new country. We need new leaders. We can't continue with these people because they are not taking us anywhere. In fact, they are taking us backward, back to the Stone Age, and Zimbabwe has to grow. Zimbabwe has to prosper like all other nations. So this is very, very, very sad. These guys must seriously start to consider to come up with working solutions to what we are looking at. So this is what it is, family. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. We will continue to be giving you updates of what is happening. Remain blessed till we meet in the upcoming show.